My family said I was faking it, but the EMTs rushed me out and everything changed fast. I'm 26, and in my family, I'm the easy joke. My dad's favorite line is, "Walk it off," and my Aunt May likes to act sweet while she takes shots at me. At a summer cookout at my parents' house, I worked for hours, setting up tables, hauling trays, and refilling drinks in the heat. Near the end, I took a bite of food and felt a tight squeeze in my chest. I tried to swallow, and it felt like my throat was shrinking. I told them, "I can't breathe," and grabbed the counter. From across the kitchen, Dad snapped, "Quit faking it. We still have dishes." Aunt May laughed and said, "He's doing the 'I'm not feeling well' thing so he can dodge cleanup." I tried to answer, but only air came out. My breaths turned into fast, shallow gasps. My hands shook, and my vision blurred. I slid down the cabinets because my legs went weak. Someone said my lips looked gray. Dad sighed like I was being annoying. "Get up," he said. "You're fine." One of the guests called 911 anyway. When the EMTs got there, one asked what I'd eaten, but I couldn't talk. Dad waved a hand and said, "He's just stressed." Aunt May added, "He does this." The EMT checked my pulse, looked at my face, and yelled, "Stretcher, now!" An oxygen mask hit my face, and someone started an IV right there in the kitchen. Suddenly, everyone stopped joking. Chairs scraped back. People stared at my dad like they weren't sure what to do with him. At the hospital, a nurse injected medicine, and my breathing loosened a little. The doctor came in and said it was a severe allergic reaction, and my airway was closing. He looked right at my parents and said, 10 more minutes, and we might not have been able to save him." My dad tried to laugh it off. "So he's allergic to barbecues now?" Aunt May shrugged. "Food disagrees with people. He just needs to push through." The doctor didn't even blink. No, he could have died. Then my dad and Aunt May left me there, like staying was too awkward. I spent the night on monitors, listening to beeps, while a nurse explained I needed allergy testing and an emergency injector to carry. In the morning, I got a ride home, and Dad texted, "Glad you're better. Family reunion in 2 weeks." Still no apology. Not even a, "Sorry we got it wrong." Before the reunion, Aunt May called relatives and rewrote the whole thing. She said I overreacted for attention. The EMTs weren't concerned, and the hospital kept me overnight just to be safe. A couple relatives even messaged me, half joking, asking if I'd learned my lesson about making a scene. By the time I walked into the reunion, people were already smirking like they knew the story. There were about 40 relatives in my uncle's living room. Loud music, kids running everywhere. The air smelled like grilled food and perfume. Aunt May clinked a spoon on a glass and announced, "Special game time. Guess the lie about Miles." She told 3 funny stories about me like I was a character on a show. Then she said I pretended I couldn't breathe to dodge dishes, and claimed the EMTs said it was probably just nerves. I tried to say, "That's not what happened," but Dad cut in quick. "Don't start. It's a party." The room laughed anyway. My dad laughed. My cousin Tyler guessed the lie and won a $50 restaurant gift card. I stood there with my drink, feeling my face go hot, then numb. I didn't argue. I just nodded once and walked outside. That night, my phone buzzed with a group chat full of jokes about me needing extra oxygen for chores. After that, I stopped answering calls and stopped showing up. I focused on work and kept my hospital paperwork, every page with the doctor's notes and times stamped on it. 6 months later was my dad's 60th birthday party, a formal hall with speeches and family photos. I went, but I stayed on the edge of the room. Right after the speeches, I heard Aunt May say, "Remember his breathing act?" And Dad chuckled like it was still funny. Something in me snapped, not in anger, but in clarity. I walked to the front and asked for the microphone. The room settled, waiting for a joke. I said, "Since we're telling stories about me, I'm fixing one." I held up my medical report. 6 months ago at the cookout, I had a severe allergic reaction. My airway was closing. The doctor said 10 more minutes and I might not be here. This is the documentation. A fork hit a plate. Aunt May tried a little laugh. "Miles, you're being dramatic." I didn't look at her. I handed the report to the nearest relative and said, "Pass it around." Pages moved hand to hand. Faces changed as they read. Someone asked my dad, "You left him at the hospital?" Another person said to Aunt May, "You turned this into a game?" My dad started talking fast, but it sounded small. Aunt May opened her mouth to spin it, and someone cut her off. "Stop! He almost died." No one laughed. I set the microphone down, grabbed my coat, and walked out while the report was still being passed around. Now my aunt is saying I ruined the party with that report. Was I wrong?